Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Christine. Today we have a video all about my tips and tricks and how to grow your Instagram. So there's not going to be any cheats or hacks or followers that you can buy. This is genuine tips I have learned in the last few years I've been doing this. Last year alone, I grew over 100K in my following. I believe I started off the year with like 15K, 20K followers, and then by the end of the year, I had just over 150K. So I learned a lot. I'm going to share all my tips and tricks with you guys and some of the best advice I give my own friends that are in the industry. So before we go ahead and jump into the video, first hit the subscribe button, also hit the bell. It lets you know every time I post a new video. I'm planning to do a whole series all about Instagram, so you definitely don't want to miss out. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I have my matcha here with me, and we're also filming in my office. I figured it would be a nice little change, and if you follow me on Instagram, you already know the deal about this pampas grass over here. It was a pain in the ass to find a vase for it, but doesn't it look so cute in the background? Anyways, this is not what you came here for. I have all my notes here for you guys. Number one thing that I want to say is do not buy your followers. Do not join engagement groups. There's no hacks or shortcuts to getting a lot of followers. It really is quality content, commitment, being genuine, especially if you want to monetize your social media. I do this full time, and 2 years ago when I first moved to LA, I quit my job. From that moment, I did YouTube and Instagram full time. If that is what you want to do with your social media, brands are going to check how genuine your engagement is, how your followers is. And engagement, if you don't know, is like likes, comments, and saves. It's all those metrics that show that followers like your post. Brands find that metric to be very important, and they will do that research on you. So if you buy your followers or you buy likes, brands are going to be able to know, and you're not going to be able to get jobs from that. So long story short, I don't think buying followers or likes or anything like that is worth it. I would way rather have 5,000 genuine real followers than 500K fake followers, because in the end, 5K is more valuable and you can build your audience from there, and then you feel good for what you're actually working for, and you can actually see like what content you're creating is actually doing well. You know what I mean? The second thing is you want to ask yourself, why do you want to have X amount of followers? Do you want to be an influencer? Why do you want to be an influencer? If it's just surface level things and you just want PR, you're just in it for the money, or you just want clout, people are going to be able to see through that, and I feel like you're not in it for the right reasons. Plus, people don't realize how much work goes into this business, and when I first started out, I quit a 9 to 5 to work like a 9 to 9. I would have days where I work like 16 hours a day. So it is a lot of work, and if it was easy, being an influencer wouldn't be as much of an asset as it is. So you want to make sure that you're in it for the right reasons. I started my YouTube because I truly cared about skincare so much. I love products. I love sharing reviews and recommendations to people. So you just want to make sure that you have intrinsic motivation. That way, when you're working 16-hour days for 15 days in a row, you have that motivation to keep going, because you're in it for more than just the money and the PR, because that's just not a sustainable situation. Then, if you figured out you want to be an influencer and you do have the intrinsic motivation, what type of content do you want to put out that's different than what is already out there? What is your area of expertise? There's skincare influencers, there's clean skincare influencers, then there's like really scientific, like almost dermatological, is that a word? Skincare people. There's different categories of everything, so you want to figure out what niche you are, what you truly love, what you're good at. Maybe not even something that you're super good at. When I first started, I was like okay at makeup, but the more I started doing like makeup reviews and get ready with me, is the better I got with makeup. So it doesn't always have to be something that you're super good at, just something that you want to focus on. And then once you have an Instagram running and you're starting to post content, maybe experiment, post things that are a little bit outside of your comfort zone, things that you may like, because it might end up gaining traction with your audience. When I was first posting on YouTube, I mainly wanted to do makeup and skincare videos, and I randomly posted like an office wear outfits video, and this was like 3 years ago, and that video really took off, and from then on I realized my audience really liked my outfit videos, and then I started doing more of that. 2018 was when I first moved to LA. When I first moved here, I didn't even have 10K followers yet. I remember I hit 10K shortly after my trip trip to Japan in 2018, and I was kind of studying real estate on the side because that's what I did in Seattle. And then my YouTube and Instagram really started taking off. I signed with the Sephora squad, and from then my following really started to grow, and I started to get a little bit more attention from other brands. 2019, I don't even really remember what happened that year. I was working a lot with Sephora, and I believe by the end of that year I had like 20,000 followers. So I was growing like 5,000 to 10,000 followers a year, which is like, I guess, average. 2020, last year, was the year that my account really started taking off, and that is solely because of TikTok. I was kind of on TikTok like for fun. I posted a video with Brandon and his mom. It was just a reaction of them watching me do a TikTok dance, and that video hit like 5 million views, and from there my TikTok really took off. I remember I hit 50K in like a week, and I was like, hey, I think this is like a really good opportunity for me to grow, and so I started really focusing on the content on there. I started doing like quicker, snappier makeup videos, outfit videos, tip videos, and then I started doing posing videos. And then from there, I found that a lot of people were going to my Instagram and following me on Instagram, and people were also going to my YouTube. So all my socials were really growing, and my Instagram and TikTok together really took off. And then at the end of 2020, my TikTok had around 300K followers. So I grew 300K in a year on TikTok, which is insane. And then on Instagram, I went from 20K to, I think I have 153K now. So it was crazy. And I don't know if you can see, I just hung my 100K YouTube plaque as well. So there's a lot of growth to be had last year, and I did work my booty off. I just kind of found like what worked for me. So I'm gonna share some of those tips with you. That was a long story. So first tip that I have to grow your Instagram, and I guess these tips kind of apply all across TikTok, Instagram, YouTube as well. Number one tip that I have is to be consistent, especially if you are on YouTube. Just post one video a week every single week and see what happens. When I first started my YouTube video, I did not miss a single week until almost 2 years in. I posted one video every single week no matter what, and did not miss a single week, and that is what helped my YouTube grow so steadily. YouTube also rewards people that are really consistent, and their algorithm kind of favors that as well. So always be consistent. A lot of the times people will post 1 or 2 videos and then kind of fall off, and they'll remember they have a YouTube channel, get back on it, fall off again. YouTube is never going to reward that, so you just want to make sure, be consistent, set a schedule, and stick to it. On Instagram, same kind of thing goes, but because Instagram is a lot more easier to consume, you can post a little bit more often. So on Instagram, when I first started, I was posting anywhere from like 3 to 5 times a day. I don't think you need to be posting every single day, just because I personally think it's annoying when I follow someone and I see them posting like so much so often. A lot of times that's why I unfollow people. So be consistent, but don't be annoying. But you want to make sure that whatever schedule you decide to do, stick to it, be consistent, and the algorithm will reward you for that. Number 2 tip that I have is quality of content. So if you're posting 3 quality IG photos a week, that is better than doing like 5 or 6 okay photos. If you just focus on creating quality content, your followers will come. On the other hand, if you're posting to get more followers, if you're trying to post things that will go viral, those followers aren't going to be likely to like stay around for the long run. You always get a different type of following as well if it's from like a viral post versus just from posting something like genuine to you or your brand. Does that make sense? Now on Instagram, I do Instagram ads here and there, so I want to make sure that the number of organic posts that I have is always around 4 to 5 posts every single week. So if I have like 2 ads, I may have 7 posts that week, or if I have 3 ads, I'll have 8 posts that week. Especially once you get a little bit bigger of a following, you're gonna start getting those sponsorships and stuff like that, but you wanna still make sure that you are catering to your audience because they followed you for your content in the first place, and you wanna make sure that you are honoring that. Get inspo from consuming the content. Consuming a lot of content will help you build a lot of inspiration for the content that you yourself want to create. Also, I'm on Pinterest a lot, especially for Instagram. People like looking at pretty pictures, pretty things. People like the vibes, and so I spend a lot of time on Pinterest and get a lot of ideas. Also, if you follow me on Pinterest, we just hit 10 million monthly views, so I'm really big on Pinterest as well. Follow me there. The aesthetics of your feed, I personally don't think matters as much, but it does make a great first impression. When someone goes to your profile for the first time and they see that your feed just looks really nice and cohesive, it's a nice balance of pictures, it makes them more likely to like click on your post and dive deeper. And the longer someone stays on your profile, the more likely that they are to follow you. If you're first starting out, I wouldn't dedicate all of your time into curating a feed. I feel like it would be much better to have higher quality posts. I have a lot to say about feed aesthetics. I feel like that is pretty important to me just because I do a lot of photography myself. Most of the pictures I take myself. All of them I edit myself. So the feed aesthetic matters to me, and I like to curate mine and make it look really nice. If you guys are interested in a video all about feed aesthetics, let me know and I can do a full video on that. Third tip that I have is value. Every single photo that you post has to bring value to your audience. Either has to inspire, entertain, or educate. So I actually learned this off of Four. Four is kind of like an influencer marketing platform, but they have a podcast, and the CEO, James Nord, gives a lot of really good advice on that. I believe the podcast is called Forecast. So if you're a beginning influencer and you need a lot of really good advice, James is super honest, and I really like that podcast, so definitely listen to that. But your post always has to bring value. I never will post just like a filler post, something that will make my feed look nice from far away, but when you click on it, it's kind of just like a random photo. Whenever I want to post like a more aesthetic photo, I will either use a caption that is really like fun or interesting, maybe something that will inspire people. Sometimes we'll have posts that are just silly and fun, and so that falls under like the entertaining category. If it's skincare review or skincare products, skincare routine, that's a little bit more educational. And if it's like a badass picture of me or an outfit photo or something with like a really good quote attached, that's a little bit more of an inspirational post. So always has to bring value to your audience, and I always keep that in mind whenever I post something. Fourth tip that I have is to cross promote. You want to make sure that you are posting content on multiple platforms. Like I said earlier, my Instagram really started taking off because of my TikTok. If I never branched out and started posting TikToks, I don't think I would be where I am today. And so you just want to make sure that you're constantly experimenting, staying on top of the times. If a lot of people are going to a new app, download the new app, spend a lot of time on it, learn how it works, start posting content, and if things start gaining traction, start posting more of that. You want as many people to find you as possible, and so branching out and being on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Pinterest. Pinterest for me was a really big game changer. All I did was started to take all my pretty pictures from Instagram, all my TikToks, and I posted it on Pinterest. That actually started because people would share my posts on Pinterest and I would randomly like find it on Pinterest. The picture wouldn't even credit me, and so I was like, if they're gonna use my photos, I wanna at least have the credit for it. So I started being the source. And so that is the main reason why I started Pinterest, and now my Pinterest has a good amount of views and followers, and so that also is another great way for people to be able to find me. So another thing too about being on multiple platforms is you wanna make it obvious that you're on multiple platforms. I'm constantly sharing my TikToks to my feed, my stories, I'm sharing my YouTube videos. If they follow me for a really long time, they want more from me, they know to find me on TikTok and on YouTube. And that way, if you have a video that goes viral on whatever platform, they might find their way towards some of your other social media that you have. I want people that follow me, if they were to stumble across my TikTok, my YouTube, whatever, I want them to think, damn, she creates good quality content on this platform too. I'm gonna follow her there. And that is how you get that conversion of followers, which is really important. Last tip, and this is the most important, it is to be genuine. I cannot stress this enough. That is why I talked about it in the beginning. You want to make sure that you're doing this for the right reasons. You want to be an influencer because it's something that you truly love, because if it's not, your followers are going to be able to tell, people are going to be able to read that from you and get that vibe off of you, and they're not going to want to support you. Always be humble and be grateful, because you would not be where you are without your followers. And every single day, I would take the time out of my day to read every single comment. If someone that follows me takes the time to write a comment to me, I want to take the time out of my day to read their comment, respond to them, acknowledge it somehow, and it just makes people feel seen. No matter how big my following is, I will always be humble and grateful, because I would be nowhere without my followers. Last note that I have is when you are first starting to post new things on your page, like I obviously first started my Instagram as like a very personal Instagram. It was about like my life. And then when I started posting like makeup photos and skincare posts, a lot of my friends were like, what the heck is this? And I started to lose a lot of followers. Whenever you pivot and start posting new content, you're obviously gonna lose those followers. You don't wanna be too stuck on the fact that you're losing followers, because you're losing followers that don't care about what you're posting now. If you're posting about something that you truly love and something you care about, that you wanna continue posting for your page, eventually you build an audience with the same interests as you, and that is just the most important thing to keep in mind. The camera's about to die. I hope you found all of these tips helpful. These are all the things that I learned in the last few years. Be consistent, be genuine, and all of those tips that I said. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram. I'm a lot more active on there, and I'm gonna start a new Instagram series talking all about Instagram tips, aesthetics, maybe how I take my photos. If you guys are more interested in like how I shoot a lot of photos in a short amount of time, let me know. So anyways, thumbs up this video if it was helpful, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.